Spring. In today's video, I will be sharing the start of spring and where the colors have started to sprout. Hello, my name is Grant and I am a photographer who likes to tell stories with the photos I take. Despite spring starting a few days back, I will be sharing from a warm afternoon of urban landscapes and green spaces with cherry blossoms and a few kites along the way. So sit back, grab a nice coffee or any beverage of your choice, and the camera I used today for this was my Lumix DMC LX5, which is a great little pocket camera, and it's almost like my go-to camera, even though I have another camera with me as well, which I didn't bring on this walk and I did use for today's video. So let's begin. I'll share my story first. Getting lost in a sea of tourists in Washington DC, where everyone in the mall is just out flying kites or picnicking or gazing at the cherry blossoms, which it was a nice afternoon out, and I got to spend my afternoon people watching and seeing what I can capture from behind the lens. I managed to capture a few photos of people flying kites around the mall, and in these photos I used a lot of blues with a dash of golden hue, as in other times I see the kites as something that can be pleasing to the eyes but also adds a bit. While I did my best to navigate around tourists, I got to capture a few photos of the cherry blossoms out. These beautiful trees were originally a gift from Tokyo's mayor, Yukio Ozaki, to enhance the friendship between the US and Japan at the time in the early 20th century. And after feeling a bit overwhelmed by the tourists, I managed to migrate further north into downtown, get away from the crowds to somewhere more of my own speed. While I took many pit stops to find a slower pace in the city, I managed to capture a few glimpses of architecture and daily life around the city that is less tourist-centered. And as I managed to walk my way up Connecticut Avenue in downtown, I caught a few glimpses of a few alleys and windows from above, which is usually something I try to capture when I do architecture photography. And from the nice day that actually was, I let the colors reflect to the vibe that I want to convey in all of my photos from that day. After trekking my way up Connecticut Avenue a little ways, or a few blocks, I'm just exaggerating at this point, so I made it to DuPont Circle, where I got to spend some time basking in the sun because it was so nice and beautiful outside. Photos of just people watching and my time while doing such, which wasn't common for most of my photos, but except those playing in the fountain, which I also went into the fountain despite it being empty, so don't worry, I did not get wet. So a little history lesson about DuPont, besides being one of my favorite neighborhoods to go people watch in DC, is that it was planned by Pierre Charles L'Enfant, who reimagined DuPont largely and developed after the Civil War, and there was a large influx of new residents based on the original L'Enfant plan. The area was occupied by a circle intended to be rectangular in shape, similar to Farragut Square, along with the historical facts of the neighborhood, and its wonderful array of aesthetics from the architecture and parks around the neighborhood, which are some of the best architecture that you can easily put your eye into. As my photo walk on this sunny Saturday afternoon comes to a close, it's safe to say that the warmer pastures are long overdue in coming, and I hope you get to bask in the sun just like I did. Enjoy. If you have enjoyed this video, I Hope you like, comment, subscribe, and also have an amazing day. Have fun. Peace.